The mayor has a proclamation. We'd like to present it now. Thank you.
Later.
Please let us have silence so the mayor can do the proclamation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. If y'all can remember last September, we had Ronnie Lamarck up here and presented him a proclamation. September is Hunger Action Month, so I'm going to kind of paraphrase this with some of our partners here from Walmart. Whereas, while the Kenner Food Bank and their local partners annually provide more than 292,000 meals to over 1,000 residents of the city of Kenner, it is our responsibility as citizens of the city of Kenner to learn about hunger and to do our part in reducing that hunger. And whereas the city of Kenner collaborates with Feeding America, Second Harvest Food Bank of New Orleans and Acadiana, and the Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry, and the American Heart Association to educate people about the important role of hunger relief organizations, raising awareness for the need to devote more resources and attention to hunger and food insecurity issues. And whereas volunteers and member agencies like Second Harvest Food Bank of Greater New Orleans and Acadiana understand that the need for comprehensive, coordinated emergency food programs place a critical responsibility not only upon the city, but on our community as a whole. Whereas this September, the city of Kenner joins communities across America that are committed to fight hunger during Hunger Action Month, a month dedicated to raising awareness of hunger in America and finding solutions within our communities. And now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the city of Kenner, do hereby proclaim September as National Hunger Action Month and commit to pursuing opportunities within our local food systems to promote food access and food security wherever possible. Be it further resolved, on this 19th day of September, the city of Kenner recognizes Walmart Supercenter store number 1342 and its employees as partners in the fight against hunger to improve food access more equitably throughout the communities we serve, prevent hunger, and promote the well-being of all residents of the city of Kenner. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the city of Kenner to be affixed on this 19th day of September, 2025, Michael J. Glazer, Mayor. I see you tried to stump me with the ending there. Well, thank you. And we have some representatives from Walmart here that I believe want to make a comment, and we thank you for all the help you do for our food bank every year.
Good morning. My name is April Williams. I'm the store manager for the Kenner Walmart. I just want to say I thank you guys for recognizing us for our community service, along with presenting us with this certificate. We are very honored to receive it. The Kenner Walmart will continue to support and give back to the community, whether it's through our grants, donations, or going out in the field. Thank you.
Can we get a picture with y'all? Yeah.
Council meeting will begin in 1 minute. I'd like to call the meeting of September 19, 2025 to order. Are there any special intentions?
Sir?
Yes. Councilman Swarth?
Thank you, Council President. I'm sorry, last meeting I left kind of abruptly. I got a text message from my wife that she was blind in one eye, which has happened because she was blind in the other eye 2 weeks prior. It seems like the medicine she's on and the disease that she has took effect, but I can glad to say and happy that she is well. And thank you, Councilman Brannigan, for that special oil. And her vision is back to normal. Thank you.
Excellent. Good to hear. Any other special intentions? Seeing none, Councilwoman Dunn, if you'll lead us in prayer. Please stand.
Thank you, Council President. May we all bow our heads in prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, dear Master, as we come together once again this hour in the morning, we just want to tell you thank you for all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Dear God, we pray right now for Miss Linda, dear Master, that you will continue to be with her, walk with her, heal her body, we pray, in the mighty name of Jesus. Lord, I pray for the mayor and his administration. I pray for the police chief Conley and his administration, for the fire chief Terrence and Morris and his administration. I pray, dear God, for the city of Kenner as a whole. I ask that you would continue to bless the residents to be with us. And dear God, as we get into the business of the city of Kenner, we're asking that you would give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we may move this city forward in the right directions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing. Councilman Brennan, if you lead us in the pledge. Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. You have a quorum. In accordance with Council Resolution Number B14550, please be advised that all cellular telephones and other devices of this nature must be deactivated or silenced throughout the council meeting. Next, we have correspondence, reports from the mayor, CAO, or department heads.
Thank you. Some tax information, because it's been asked that we do it every 2 months now, and continue to do it. Citywide sales tax revenues received in September were up by 14.38%, which is $520,482.33 compared to the same time next year. For the current fiscal year, we're down 0.11%, which is $13,146.70 compared to this time last year. So sales taxes are pretty much trending what they were last year. And brief comments about, since the news hit with Jefferson Parish going to their CRS, a community rating system, going to a 3, saving even more money for people with their flood insurances. The City of Kenner, this program started in 1990. The City of Kenner and Jefferson Parish joined it in 1992. Our last rating was at the end of 2022, which we're working under a 6 now. We had the letter was received January 12th of 2023, excuse me, indicating that Kenner is a Class 6. This month should have been our 3-year cycled visit, but FEMA notified us that our visit will now be in January of 2026. So they'll be coming back to review our stuff and issue another rating. The city in all administrations, it's a voluntary program to try to save residents money on their flood insurance. We get maximum points in some areas. We above average it in almost every area. The 2 places that we lose some points is open space and preservation. Like, they want green space. They want runoff that can absorb rainwater and stormwater, and higher building codes. Higher building codes is, I guess, it's a double-edged sword. If we increase our building codes, you may save a couple dollars on flood insurance, but it'll cost you a lot more in construction, because when you build things to withstand a lot more wind and storm and floodwaters and all that kind of stuff, it's going to go up. So that's kind of the juggling act that all of these municipalities and parishes are dealing with now. So just what we've done in the last 3 years is we have a $3 million project, South Kenner drainage here in Rivertown, to alleviate the flooding on Williams Boulevard. Phase 1 of that is complete. Phase 2 is in design and should be done sometime next year. You all know about our Pump to the River, $25 million pump station that the City of Kenner will build and maintain, which should alleviate all the rainwater in South Kenner from being pushed to Lake Pontchartrain. Seton Park Pump Station, Parish Line, adding a pump. The Vintage Pump Station is either going to be in coordination with Seton Park, or it's going to be a separate project. And as y'all know, we spent a lot of money in Lincoln Manor on, every time you see a roadway that's been overlaid, it's because of the drainage work we've done. So we've done several $1 million worth of upgrades in Lincoln Manor. So with that, we'll see what happens in January. We're continuing to educate the public. That's where you get points. This is like, you try to build as much points as you can for the rating. You can see it's like a scorecard. It's like when you're in school, you get A, B, C, or D. That's kind of, it just goes by how many points you can accumulate. And the easy ones is for us to educate the people, keep doing what we're doing now, but the hard part is we don't have a lot of open spaces. And it's the repetitive flooding properties that cause us some trouble. If you listen to FEMA, they, if it's a repetitive flood, they want you to tear it down and move the people. So that's kind of some of the things that we're dealing with today. And I'm happy to say Kenner's a 6. Everyone starts out as a 10. We're one of only 2 6s in the state. There's only 3 ahead of us, which is Gretna, JP now with a 3 in Mandeville. So you're in the top 5. I think they have, 47 participating parishes and municipalities in the state of Louisiana. So we'll update y'all again in January after the visit. And then a few months later, we'll actually get, the notice of what rating the city of Kenner has. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Mayor. Madam Clerk? Oh, yes.
May I?
Yes, yes, Councilman.
Thank you. Mayor, thanks for the information, and it is exciting news to hear about it, but I will tell you this, not to be negative on all of this, but as many of you know, I'm in the insurance business, and Jefferson Parish is going from a level 5 to a 3. Level 5 gets a 25% discount on their flood insurance, and that's actually already in place, and people are already receiving that. So when these rates go into effect and these changes go into effect, it's only really going to be another 10%, even though it's being discussed in all the articles in the media saying it's 35%. Just, again, not to be Mr. Negative, but I've gotten calls all week about it, trying to explain it to people. So it is good news because flood rates are expensive and so is insurance. Anything helps, but just to throw that out there for information.
And like I'll add, at your July 25th meeting, you passed an ordinance changing our flood protection ordinance to kind of add more into it where it's the same thing as Jefferson Parish has, but it's all numbered. I mean, it's all words. It really doesn't say, it's what we'll do. It doesn't give you specific things. And until risk rating 2.0 is changed, this is something that South Louisiana is going to deal with on a continuing basis. Like I was in Washington, D.C. last year, the Speaker of the House and the Majority Leader Scalise, they can't even get the actual formula from FEMA, how they come up with these ratings. And if you got the Speaker of the House can't get it, there's no way anybody else is going to get it, and that's why you have the President of the United States kind of aggravated with FEMA, and that's when they do away with it. If your leaders can't get the formula that a government department is working under, there's a real big problem. So that's kind of where we are now. St. Charles Parish President Matt Jewell is leading the cause around here where he's actually suing FEMA to try to figure out how they come up with this stuff. So until they change that, and we're spinning our wheels with thinking we're going to have affordable flood insurance here in South Louisiana.
Well, and years ago when they did all the rezoning, so many properties went to an X zone where at that point mortgage companies no longer required flood insurance. And now several years later people are saying, well, I want to get it, and the rates are just as high as could be. And so it's hopefully they get it right.
Thank you, Councilman. Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Do we have any resolutions, motions, or other items from the floor? Seeing none, under the consent agenda, we have item 1, approval of minutes, the regular council meeting of September 19, 2025. Item 2 is approval of alcoholic beverage permit applications. We have none. Item 3 is approval of bingo and public gathering applications. Item 3A is application number 25-002, the City of Kenner to hold a public gathering on November 16, 2025, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the purpose of a 4th annual Kenner Food Truck Festival 2025 at Lake Town. Item 3B is application number 25-003, the City of Kenner to hold a public gathering on October 18th and 19th, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the purpose of a Halloween trunk-or-treat event and a movie at Musbertolino/Ed Daniels Field. Item 3C is application number 25-005, Big Easy Mopar Association to hold a public gathering on March 28th and 29th, 2026, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the purpose of a car show at Lake Town. I have a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember McKinney to approve the consent agenda. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Under the public appearance agenda, we have item 8, public hearings and final passage. Item 8A is summary ordinance number 13,934, an ordinance amending the 2024 and 2025 capital budgets to budget the increase in funds received from riverboat fees. I have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Brennan, to open a public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. We're now in a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council? Please come forward now. Seeing none, I have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Brennan, to close the public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. I have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Brennan for approval.
Ms. Herring, if you can give us an explanation.
Sure. So as you probably know, we get a true up at the end of the year. So the way we get paid for riverboat fees is they base it on the collections the prior year, divided up monthly. We get the set amount every month. And then the last month, they true up. So we brought in $1,939,461.73 more than what was budgeted originally. So this is just amending the budget for that and then distributing the funds. So, you know, treasure trust money gets split between council, debt, and capital projects. So and the police gets 24% as well. So this is distributing the funds through council districts 1 through 5, and then at-large A and B. We are also putting some money aside for some city repairs that took place during the year that we were short on funds. The food bank is getting a generator. They have a grant, but there's a match that is needed, so there's money dedicated for that. The police are getting their share, and then we're transferring the money to debt service. So there still is like $400,000 that's gonna go back into the general fund balance that wasn't used, so.
Perfect. Thank you for that explanation. Any other questions from council?
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 8B is summary ordinance number 13,935. An ordinance approving a conditional use for a minor automotive repair shop on lots 34, 35, and 36, Square 190, Briarwood Subdivision, Kenner Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Property zones C2, General Commercial, in accordance with plans dated June 12, 2025, by Ron Kowalski, Architect. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. We're now in a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council? They can come up following the planning presentation. I believe planning has a presentation.
Mr. Skwinski?
Good morning, everyone. This is planning case P925. It's a conditional use to permit a minor automotive repair shop, more specifically a tire and rim shop at 3319 Williams Boulevard. The owner of the property is Vonet T of 3504 Connecticut Avenue in Kenner, and the applicants are Wada Agag and Ahmed Balwi of 1208 South Howard Avenue in Metairie. As was stated in the summary, lots 34, 35, and 36 of Square 190 in the Briarwood subdivision are the subject property. The subject property fronts William Boulevard and is bounded by 33rd Street to the south, Florida Avenue to the west, and 34th Street to the north. The applicant held an early neighborhood meeting on June 2nd, 2025 at 3319 Williams Boulevard. A total of 18 invitations were sent out. Only one person attended, and there were no concerns about the proposed development. The property is zoned C2 General Commercial, and a minor automotive repair shop is a conditional use under the C2 zoning district. The applicant is proposing to renovate the existing building, including adding a garage on the south side of the property to operate it as a business that sells and installs tires and rims. The UDC requires all work done on vehicles to be performed inside the building/garage. This use requires one parking space for every 500 square feet of gross floor area. Therefore, the site would require 7 parking spaces. The proposal includes 4 standard spaces and 1 handicap space. Therefore, the proposal is 2 parking spaces short of what is required. Ingress and egress to the site is through an existing two-way driveway that enters and exits onto Williams Boulevard. The site is fully developed already and therefore does not require any landscaping. The existing building on the site is approximately 3,050 square feet. A new garage to be constructed on the south side of the property next to the building is 30 by 20 feet and contains 600 square feet. The applicant did not provide any plans for signage, therefore they will be required to go through the minor site plan process in order to get their signage approved. The site does have an existing pole sign, however, under the Lake Town Improvement District, that sign cannot be utilized, and the applicant has indicated that they will be removing it. The planning department believes that if this shop operates in a manner consistent with the rules outlined in the UDC, that they should be a good neighbor and shouldn't draw any complaints. This case was heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission on August 27th, and they recommended approval. That is all I have.
Is there
Any
anyone
questions?
else in the audience that would like to address the council? Please come forward. Seeing none, I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan to close your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan for approval. Council members, you may have your discussion.
Councilman Swarth?
Chris, do you have any opposition to this? Anything that we would have to say no to on this?
No, we have received no calls on this case. I have not heard a single negative comment about it, so.
And I know we've had a lot of tire shops here in the city of Kenner, but this would be the only one on the north side of the interstate, for sure, besides Sam's.
It'd be the only one on the north side on Williams. There's a Goodyear by the mall, and then there's one over by Loyal that you can see on the map that's up there.
So this just gives another opportunity for the people on the north side. They have the tires repaired or to upgrade to a fancier rims on their vehicle. So, colleagues, I ask that you go ahead and approve this. Thank you.
Yeah, Councilwoman McKinney?
Yes, thank you. I just had, I noticed in your presentation, you said that there are 2 parking spaces shy of the requirements. You feel comfortable that that's not going to be an issue in any way, right?
Yeah, they should, if they're having customers there, then there's probably going to be a car in the garage at most times, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. They're just one spot short.
Okay.
And actually, if they remove the sign, they may be able to, the existing pole sign, they may be able to squeeze another space in there.
Okay, that was all. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor?
Chris, I have a question. You said all the work's supposed to be done in the structure that they, I guess, expanding?
Correct.
All right, so if I see a floor jack in the front of this place, the code can cite them, and how do we shut them down?
Yeah, they would be cited by code if
Okay.
you see them doing work outside.
All right, because that'd be my only complaint. And I'll probably be taking a look at it because I pass it every day, several times a day, so I'll hold them to all the work's done inside where it's not in the front parking lot.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else?
Seeing
Seeing
no
none.
further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Next, we have item 8C, a public hearing regarding a resolution calling a public hearing on September 19, 2025, to determine whether the structures located at 1815 Short Street, Kenner, Louisiana, shall be abated by repair, rehabilitation, demolition, or removal. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Lahat, to remove this item per the administration. The homeowner has demolished the property. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0 to remove. Item 8D is a resolution calling a public hearing on September 17, 2025, to determine whether the structures located at 1918 Kansas Avenue in Kenner, Louisiana shall be abated by repair, rehabilitation, demolition, or removal. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Dunn, to open your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. We're now in a public hearing. The Code Enforcement Department has a presentation, and the public can speak afterwards.
Good morning. Catherine Topple, Director of Inspection and Code Enforcement, City of Kenner. We're here today seeking the demolition of 1918 Kansas Avenue in District 2. The structure in question is on piers, elevated about 2 feet. It's owned by Mr. Paul Francis Duroy et al. On March 24th, 2025, it was determined that the property was unsafe and dangerous under the building codes for the City of Kenner, as well as Section 5-57 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Kenner. On April 1st, we mailed a notice by certified mail to the property owner advising him of the structure violations. They have failed to comply with all notices and/or orders to repair the structure. Therefore, the mayor appointed LeBlanc, Fantasi, and Villio LLC as a curator, who is present here today, for the owners in connection with this matter. It's noted in the report of the engineer retained by the City of Kenner that the electrical service has been disconnected, natural gas service meter is still connected. There's an abandoned vehicle parked in the front driveway. The grass has been cut, the city's been cutting it. Exterior windows and doors are not boarded but are secure. Sections of soffit and fascia are missing or rotted around the perimeter of the structures. Sections of the exterior siding have signs of wood rot and are missing, exposing the wood framing to all the elements. The rear and side cover rooms have been gutted but are open to the public. A number of pilasters supporting the front porch are leaning, thus compromising the stability of the porch, which is also supporting the front section of the roof. Based on that report of the engineer, the structure is a serious public hazard, and it's recommended that the city take the steps to demolish the structure and have it abated by demolition. I would note that we have been attempting to get some type of activity on this structure since I came on board in July of 2022 with no success. It's been abandoned, vacant. The city has been maintaining the yard. The neighbors have frequently contacted the office about this abandoned home in their area, and it's just an attractive nuisance for everybody involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Swarth.
Ms. Catherine, we've been talking about this for a long time. And colleagues, Paul and Sue Duroy were good friends with my parents. I know them. And they both passed away, and they have no siblings. So it's kind of hard, wouldn't be able to pass it down to their children. Their relatives live out of town and are not interested in the property at all. So therefore, this is something that's been an eyesore for the neighborhood, and as soon as this building comes down, you'll be making a lot of people happy. So, Ms. Catherine, thank you for being persistent on this, and we're hoping that get this done as soon as possible. Thank you.
Do we have a curator that needs to speak?
Good morning, Council. I was appointed curator on April 24th in an attempt to locate the property owners. Upon appointment, I searched JeffNet, JP Assessor's Office, Orleans Assessor's Office, and internet resources, including white pages. I was able to find some phone numbers for the homeowners. All of those phone numbers, when I called them, were disconnected. Additionally, I found an address listed in Rapid River, Michigan, sent certified letters to that. They were returned as undeliverable with a notation that they were deceased. I've searched Louisiana and Michigan for obituaries, couldn't find any. I've also placed an ad in the Times-Picayune New Orleans Advocate on April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd, 2025. To date, I haven't heard anything from anybody regarding the property. And then when I received notice of this hearing, I forwarded it to the property at issue as well as the Michigan address. Haven't heard any response. If you have any questions about my efforts, I'd be glad to hear them.
I guess one, when you have property of this nature, there's nobody that seems to be connected to it, isn't there a process involving vacant successions with the state?
There is a process involved with vacant successions, but no succession proceedings have been opened. Nobody has come forward to try and open a succession and handle the property in any way, as far as I could say.
How long has it been, do we know?
Since they passed away,
Yes.
I have no idea. I couldn't find any obituary for either of the owners.
Councilman Swarth, if you could chime in on that?
I'm thinking somewhere around 10 years at least.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
it's been a while since they've passed away.
there's been no succession proceedings open in Jefferson Parish, and could not find any information about their death.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, please.
Yes, Councilman?
Ms. Topple, just for clarification, did you say that the gas is still on?
The meter is still connected, so part of the demolition process would be contacting all utilities to have all of that removed from the
But the
property.
gas is not,
No.
okay, just point of clarification. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members, I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Dunn to close your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Dunn, to demolish the building within the time allowed by law. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 9 is ordinances for the sale, purchase, transfer, lease, and/or alienation of immovable property. We have none. Item 10 is opening of bids. We have none. Item 11 is reclassification of zoning for final passage. We have none. Item 12 is other ordinances for final passage. We have none. Item 13 is resolutions and motions by council members. Item 13A is a resolution supporting Westminster Tower LP application for a payment in lieu of tax pilot arrangement from the Jefferson Parish Economic Development Commission, JEDCO. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan, and I believe we have a presentation.
Yes. Mr. Bologna, how you doing?
Good morning, members of the council, Mayor Glazer, Jerry Bologna. I'm President and CEO of JEDCO, the Jefferson Economic Development Commission. And first want to thank you for taking this item under consideration. This is related to the project at 2301 Idaho Avenue. That's a 200-unit senior affordable housing apartment building that was recently acquired by Westminster Tower LP and an affiliated nonprofit, Housing Preservation, Inc., their partner in this project. A little bit about payments in lieu of taxes for those of you that haven't been involved in that process before. JEDCO, through our statutory powers, we have the ability to take title to real estate or leasehold improvements and extend our tax exemption to a for-profit entity. This project, which has been owned by a nonprofit over its entire 48-year history, has never paid. They've been tax exempt for that entire history. The new ownership group, which part of that is for profit, they are then required to pay taxes, but at the same time, they are required to retain low levels of rent for their HUD responsibilities, and part of that $16.5 million project is to improve the property drastically. If any of you have been there, I think you would agree that it's been a hard 48-year run, and it's in desperate need of some renovations. So this payment in lieu of taxes, which would extend that tax-exempt status, is going to go a long way into achieving these goals. It's very similar to what this council approved with the Kenner Housing Authority. When the KHA turned their properties over to a private developer, we extended that same ability to them so that they can continue to offer those low levels of rent for those users. The payment in lieu of taxes has been approved by the JEDCO board. We did that on August 28th. And as a matter of practice, we have always taken these approvals to either the parish council or within a municipality, the city council for their ratification. I'm joined by Oliver Haynes. He's with Historic HPI, and he can tell you a little bit about the renovation and what specifically is going to happen to the building. I will tell you, we've done our due diligence on HPI. We've seen their portfolio, the type of work they've done, the way that they have maintained their properties, and we're very satisfied with that. But the resolution before you would state the City of Kenner Council's support of JEDCO's payment in lieu of taxes. And then just a final caveat is upon your approval, we are also going to take this to the Jefferson Parish Council for their ratification as well. And I'm happy to answer any questions. Also, I'll bring up Oliver Haynes with HPI.
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing us to come and make this presentation too. I appreciate the council here, considering our proposal for a pilot. I appreciate everything that JEDCO has done up to this point. We've been working with them for about a year now, getting this pilot in place. And so excited about the opportunity before us. There is a lot of work that needs to be done at Westminster Tower. For those of you all that are familiar with that particular community, or maybe for those of you who aren't, I'll give you a little bit of an introduction, but it's 200 apartment units in Tower 1 and another 67 apartment units in Tower 2. And these are dedicated for low-income senior citizens. As Jerry mentioned, it's been run by a nonprofit company for 40 some odd years since its inception. That was the Westminster Presbytery. And it was managed by a third-party management company called National Church Residences. We've now taken over ownership and management of the community, and we are owner-operators of our properties. We have a portfolio of 82 or so communities around the country, several of them here in Louisiana. The first property we ever acquired actually was in Shreveport, and we've owned it for about 22 years now. So we're excited to be in Kenner. We acquired this community as part of a larger portfolio from the Presbytery of about 572 units total. And we have, as Jerry mentioned, a multi-million-dollar scope of renovation work that we're about to embark on. It's about $3.5 million to $4 million is kind of the range that we're looking at, and that will make some very important improvements, we think, to the building that'll enhance the quality of life for the residents and the long-term sustainability of the affordability of this community. So we appreciate y'all's partnership here. And I think, Jerry, I don't know if did you want to run through this late thing? Okay. I'll concede some time here. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I'm happy to discuss anything, and we have a presentation of some work that we've done at another community up in Jackson, if anybody wanted to see the kind of renovation work that we're capable of doing. So.
Great. Thank you. Councilman Brannigan has some questions, if you will.
I just wanted to mention that when we had the meeting on this last week or the week before, you ought to stress how this will be done in 1 year, all of the renovations, because you're under guidelines to get it done within 1 year. So it's not going to have something, it's not going to be something that's going to drag along and put these people that are living there through basic hell. If it took 4 or 5 years to get through it. So getting it done in 1 year, they're going to see an immediate impact. So you need to stress that too, okay?
Yes, sir, I appreciate you bringing that up. So because of the programmatic guidelines that we have with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, when we acquired this community, there's essentially a clock that we had to go and get all of the renovation work, the scope of work there approved by HUD. When they give their stamp of approval, they essentially give you 12 months to go in and rehab these communities, specifically for the reasons that the councilman brought up, that you don't want to drag the residents, low-income seniors in particular, through a long, arduous renovation project. So we will be able to renovate these communities with the residents still in place. We'll be able to come in and do work inside the units without having to displace any of the senior citizens. And we essentially, one of our core competencies as a company, having done this for so many years with this very specific demographic of residents, we have a process by which we can turn their unit in about 48 hours. And while we're inside of their unit doing work, we provide them with a hospitality suite. And if need be, if it's a kind of a deeper renovation, we'll put them up in a hotel room if we have to. But for the most part, we're able to do the renovation during the course of normal business hours, provide that hospitality suite for the resident, invite them to come back and sleep in their unit in that evening, and then wrap up the work inside the unit the next day, and they have a brand new unit to live in for as long as they want to be there. So does that touch on your?
Yes, getting the unit redone in 48 hours is incredible. And the good thing about it is it doesn't displace the resident, and you're dealing with older folks, so you don't want to mess up their normal living routines, and that's what I like about this project.
Yes,
Plus, it redoes the building too, so.
That's right. And we also have, just to comment on that a little further, we also have staff, a full building staff. So there's a manager, there's an on-site maintenance team, there's a social service coordinator as well that we will provide, actually 2 social service coordinators because there's so many units. And so they are able to help the residents, move out furniture, move back in furniture. The social service coordinator is there to look after the wellness and the well-being of the residents as well through that kind of period, throughout their tenancy in general. But
Yeah, and the management team seems like it's going to be a lot better than it has been in the past, from what we talked about.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. We like to think that we do a good job, so we take it very seriously. We're different from a lot of developers in that we own and operate. We don't farm out the management to a third-party vendor. We keep that very close to our chest, and it's the way that we are able to best take care of the community from a physical standpoint, but also the residents. And so the management is important. The residents are our customers, right? They have options. They can go to other communities to go and live. We want to keep good residents in place for the long term. Our average tenant lease across thousands and thousands of units is about 7.5 years. The national average is about 3.5 years. So we think we do a good job, and that plays out in the data and the way that residents come, they move into our communities, and they don't leave.
And I just had one thing I wanted to point out, Mr. Hayes. We also have our emergency manager director. He's here, Doug Dote. If you will, just stand up and so they can see who you are, so you can possibly get together and exchange contact information. I think that'd be helpful just to have.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Bologna?
Councilman Wilmot, thank you. I just wanted to clarify one thing. This tax exemption is not in perpetuity. This is a 20-year tax exemption, at which time the property will come on to the tax rolls at its assessed value at that point, or if HPI sells the property at that time, it would come on to the tax rolls as well. I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you for that clarification. Anybody else have questions? Yes, Councilwoman?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I actually am curious, is there a presentation that we were going to show before and after pictures? Or is it not working?
No, it is working. I'm happy to flip through it. This is another community that we own in Jackson, Mississippi, that we acquired in 2023. And I think, anyway, I had sent this around maybe to the Councilman Ronnie here and Jedco as well, just as an example of the kinds of work that we do. This is another senior high-rise community. And there's some before and after pictures. We took it over. It was a very distressed community. The foundation was sinking on the west side of the building. I'll show you that in a second. There were bats living in the walls. There were all kinds of issues. The property owner didn't actually even know how many units were in the building, which was wild to us. So we had to go and figure that out too and get that organized with HUD. But some before and after screenshots here of the work we did, so that you can kind of see and visualize what Westminster Tower, will look like when we're finished with it. So this is to do with the foundation. You can see on that left image, we had to dig up underneath the Yazoo clay that this building was built on. The structural engineers hadn't accounted for the settling in the clay, and so the building was sinking. We had to get in, and you can see these pictures, get underneath it with these, backhoes and restabilize the foundation. It was quite an undertaking. So we did a lot of work on the exterior just to clean up the street condition, so that it looked like a much more presentable part of the community. Fixed the foundation, redid the roof. One of the things that Councilman Ronnie and I spoke about was the roof at the community right now in Westminster Tower has that aggregate gravel on the top of it, which is obviously a hazard during high wind events. And that was up to code 20 some odd years ago. Nowadays, I don't think that it is. In any event, we don't want it. So, in the next couple of years, it's not part of our initial renovation scope, but within, I think, at least 5 years from now, that roof will need to be replaced, and we'll do that rollover PTOU roof that will, fix any kind of high wind hazard of, picking up those rocks. The image there on the right is kind of our standard hallway paint and flooring concept and lighting concept. So you can see that. The difference between left and right side again being the renovation that we did to the common area in this community. This is a movie room that we built for the residents. Pool table, kind of game room for the residents as well. So we'll be refreshing all of the amenity spaces in the community. We'll be redoing the elevators. You can see the before and after there. Updating the laundry facilities. These are just some additional photos here. And just creating a greater sense of community and habitability that caters specifically to the senior residents. So anyway, hopefully that helps you visualize.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. I've been to Westminster. I have a relative that lives there. And I think this is a well-needed, we definitely need this renovation, and we need it for our elderly population. So thank you for doing this. And the only other question I have is, excuse me, are the renovations primarily focused on interior? Because I know you went over a lot of exterior in the thing, or are they both, or?
It'll be a combination of both, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So it'll be work that gets done inside the units,
Okay.
To upgrade the appliances and the kitchen cabinets and the bathroom vanities and the tubs and the floor and the lighting. There'll be work that gets done in the common area hallway spaces. There'll be work that gets done in the community areas, and then there will also be work on the outside. So think landscaping, asphalt, tuck pointing of the building. I think we're doing some work on the windows as well, making sure that the balconies are secured. I think we had received reports that during high wind events that there are these doors in the balconies that would get blown open and then water would come in, and so we'll make sure that those are now those are hurricane proofed. So yes, ma'am, you'll see some work done to the outside of the building.
Great, perfect, thank you.
Councilman Swarth?
Once again, Oliver, thank you so much for coming. I know you're an out-of-state company, and it means a lot to the community, to the city, to the residents, that you have an interest at least to show up and make a presentation for something of this magnitude. I mean, this is Westminster Towers has been here for a long time. The residents there, they could need all the help that they can get. Chief Dyer, Chief Torrance, I did not forget about you, y'all as well. I made sure with Mr. Oliver that there'll be upgrading the fire alarm system in there, so hopefully we won't have as many false alarms, false calls over there. Medically, we talk about the medical responses over there, and all the safety functions and upgrades that's come to the facility. It's fantastic. I wish it had been 20 years before, but thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Councilman Swarth. That's good points, and we do appreciate y'all both being here today. And Mr. Bologna?
Just last point, I promise. As part of the lease, when Jedco takes title and leases back to the end user, we retain the right to inspect the property also. So not that we anticipate, we anticipate a great operator, but if there were anything down the road that we weren't happy with, we have the right to go in and can come back to you for this agreement to reconsider.
Excellent. Very good. Any other questions from anyone? Mr. Teff?
Greg Teff, 5th District. I think it's good. I feel it's good for the city. My only concern is the 20 years of no taxes. I can understand amortizing it over 10, because there's going to be a lot of work done and a lot of expense put into it. But to go out to 20 seems to me to be just a little bit unreasonable, because, I mean, the city is basically paying to have it done by not collecting taxes. But in fairness to the company, yes, they're going to be spending money to get it done. And that's why I say you amortize it. It should go over around 10 years. That's a normal business, looking at renovations to when they recoup their money, for that investment, because that's what it is. It's an investment on their part. So that's my only concern. Otherwise, I think it's good for the city. It's good for the seniors living there, and I think they certainly have a good plan, and they certainly did a good job on the other ones. And that's my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teff. Mr. Bologna, would you like to comment?
The only thing that I'll say to that, and it is a good point, when considering the length of this agreement, we not only took into account the amount of investment that the company is putting into it, but they are also beholden to HUD to retain low levels of rent. So unlike a normal private developer that would put money into a project and then increase the rents in order to recover that, they don't have that ability. They have to retain those levels of rent.
Thank you. Would you like to add a comment, please?
Yeah, and I appreciate the gentleman's comment as well. And thank you, Jerry, too. But another factor in the equation is that we finance this community, the acquisition of this community, with equity, but also with debt raised through Fannie Mae, and the Fannie Mae debt requirements require that if there's going to be some sort of a tax abatement or a pilot like this, that it be 20 years. So there's a requirement from the lender for that as well. And so part of the way that we're able to afford the work that's being done at the property is by levering up the reduction in taxes to provide for additional capital that we can then put into the renovation work. And then also, as Jerry mentioned, there is an affordability contract with the federal government that lasts for 20 years. So it's also, I think the term of the pilot is tied in part to that affordability contract. So.
Great. Thank you for those explanations. Anybody else? Any comments? Madam Clerk?
Seeing no further comments, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Item 14 is items removed from the consent agenda. We have none. Item 15 is acceptance of contracts and similar matters approved by the mayor. Item 15A is summary ordinance number 13,936, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of non-lethal training ammunition and firearm conversion kits from Ultimate Training Munitions Incorporated, a sole source provider, and an amount not to exceed $12,000 for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15B is summary ordinance number 13,937, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Vehicle Parts and Equipment Incorporated to furnish and install vehicle accessories in accordance with electronic bid 25-2182 in an amount not to exceed $50,000 for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15C is summary ordinance number 13,938, an ordinance approving an increase to the not-to-exceed amount established to furnish and install light bars and sirens from Vehicle Parts and Equipment Incorporated utilizing state contract numbers 4400005417 and 4400022051. I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. Councilmember Sharwood?
Is there an amount on this here for lights and all?
It's increasing by 200,000. The current contract is for 400,000. They're asking to increase it by 200 for a new not to exceed of 600. They've spent 353,000 so far.
Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15D is summary ordinance number 13,939, an ordinance approving a professional services agreement with All South Consulting Engineers, LLC, regarding the Jelpy and Osborne Sewer Lift Station rehabilitation in an amount not to exceed $227,825 for the Department of Wastewater. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Seeing no discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15E is summary ordinance number 13,940, an ordinance approving a professional services agreement with ECM Consultants Incorporated regarding the 27th and Dawson Street Sewer Lift Station rehabilitation and an amount not to exceed $250,893.35 for the Department of Wastewater. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. Seeing no discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15F is summary ordinance number 13,941, an ordinance authorizing the use of State of Louisiana contract number 4400032587 with United Rentals North America Incorporated for rental of industrial equipment on an as-needed basis in an amount not to exceed $500,000 annually for the wastewater department. I have a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood.
Ms. Joanne, if you will. Just
Yes, sir.
explanation.
We're piggybacking off the state contract. This is for equipment that a lot of the different departments do use: pumps, generators, air conditioning systems, cranes, lift things. So if we don't have the equipment, we rent it from United Rentals. This isn't a purchase agreement, it's just for rental.
And this is citywide then?
This is, yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? None. Madam Clerk?
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 16 is ordinances and resolutions in summary for first reading. Item 16A is an ordinance authorizing the use of state contract number 4400030934 to purchase speed enforcement radar equipment and an amount not to exceed $50,000 for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16B is an ordinance authorizing the use of state contract number 4400033192 to purchase lawn equipment and an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the Parks and Recreation Department. I have item 16C is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Command Construction Industries LLC for Chateau Transfer Station improvements in accordance with seal bid 25-6892 and in the amount of $2,680,000 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16D is an ordinance approving an agreement with DXP Enterprises Incorporated, doing business as Delta Process Equipment, to provide Gorman rump pumps and accessories on an as-needed basis in an amount not to exceed $200,000 for the wastewater department. Item 16E is an ordinance approving an agreement with Gulf South Engineering and Testing Incorporated to provide testing services associated with the 25th and Salem Sewer Lift Station Replacement Project in an amount not to exceed $10,000 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16F is an ordinance approving an agreement with Gulf South Engineering and Testing Incorporated to provide testing services associated with the Chateau Transfer Improvements Project in an amount not to exceed $10,000 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16G is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsibility received from Vulcan Incorporated, doing business as Vulcan Signs, to provide reflective sheeting as needed in accordance with electronic bid 25-2183, an amount not to exceed $30,000 annually for the General Services Department. Item 16H is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsibility received from New Light Electrical Wholesalers to purchase materials for lighting of Rivertown parking lot in accordance with electronic bid 25-3039 and an amount not to exceed $12,982.87 for the General Services Department. Item 16I is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsibility received from Han Enterprises Incorporated to furnish and install outdoor wall pads for Musbertolino Stadium in accordance with electronic bid 25-3041, an amount not to exceed $9,877 for the Parks and Recreation Department. Item 16J is an ordinance amending the 2024-2025 capital budget to establish budget amounts for the lead hazard grant funds. Item 17 is reports from the council and our special committees.
Councilman Brennan?
Thank you, Council Chair. Yes, just an update. Recently, you may be aware that the entrance to Woodlake subdivision, the wall was hit once again. Pardon me, once again. It was a medical emergency, a medical issue that caused the driver to run into the wall. And I just want to thank the mayor and Mr. Jose Gonzalez and his department for getting on this right away. We've contracted digital engineering to come up with some plans to hopefully reduce the impact, if you will, on that in that area when this were to occur again. We had taken the lights down several years ago and replaced it with stop signs, and again, this was just a medical emergency. Sometimes those are just bad when they happen and where they are. So thank you all for your work on that. We look to get some information and updates and propose some changes as recommended. Thank you, Councilman.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk?
Item 18 is new business. We have none. Item 19 is unfinished business and motions to reconsider or remove from a tabled position. We have none. Item 20 is persons wishing to address the council on special subject matters.
Mr. Taft?
Greg Taft, 5th District. On the 8A that just got passed today, I'm hoping that y'all would drive through these neighborhoods and take a look at some of the roads that really need to be repaired, because there are a few, and they're in the neighborhoods. And I know some. I don't know if y'all drive through all of them or not, but I can tell you it's like the one between West Esplanade and Loyola. It's got a nice big hole right in the middle of the street, and cars are having to go around it. And I noticed it today coming here. So, and it's a pretty good size, but I'm just saying, with the extra money, consider taking care of some of our streets. That's all. And the other thing I want to do is I want to thank the city employees that go out every day and work throughout the city. I don't think, when you consider how hot it is and what they have to do, the work they have to put in, I got to tell you, I feel for them, and they really do a good job. They really do. And sometimes I don't know if they really get the attention that they should. But I've seen them work in my neighborhood, fixing things and straightening out things. And I even noticed that in a lot of cases, they're fixing some of the streets that they're working on. So, I just want to thank them because they are doing a good job. And I think I don't know how much attention the city gives them, but we couldn't survive without them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taft. Appreciate your comments.
Excuse me, Mr. Taft. You said between West Esplanade, which street?
It's on West Loyola.
Okay, if you said that, I missed it, I'm sorry. We have been talking with this extra money, just pertaining to District 5. One area that Mr. Gonzalez has gotten an estimate on some repairs is in excess of $300,000 just for a few blocks. But we have spoken just recently about going and trying to pinpoint some items and areas that need some attention, even if it's kind of a Band-Aid on it for some time. You know, and hopefully we can start allowing, hopefully this money continues over the next few years or for many years, and we could do some other things that need some attention. During the COVID stuff, I think our allotment, Ms. Herring could probably confirm this. One year, I think we got less than $60,000. So a square or two in a street's 30-something thousand. So it doesn't go very, very far. So, but thank you for your comments, and thank you for mentioning the workers. Yes, they do a good job. We're very fortunate.
Thank you, Councilman Brennan. Ms. Vallow, if you have any comments?
Yes, sir. On behalf of the city of Kenner, I would like to say Feliz cumpleaños to Valeria Cawas and Jose Gonzalez.
Hey. Any other comments from anybody before we adjourn? Yeah, it sounds like a plan. And we're adjourned.